I was going to seek out Gary to just kind of go over a couple of the situations, obviously, last night. But he actually came into my office on his own beforehand, and which was, I thought, encouraging, and we had a long talk about it, which was mostly about him being accountable for, some effort things that he certainly could have been better with last night. It was at the end of that he kind of left a little crumb, like, yeah, a little tightness tonight, but I don't think he thought it was that big a deal, nor did I necessarily at the time. But then we woke up this morning, and I think the adrenaline of the game's over with, and probably a little soreness, and we just felt like we needed to really get to the bottom of it. So we scheduled everything from seeing the doctor to obviously the MRI, which ultimately revealed that he had strained the injury again.
The fact that he came to you and there is in fact an injury, does that change your opinion of the plays last night? Does that erase the lack of effort?
No, I think he was out there and in a place that he felt like he certainly could have given more and should have given more. And I think they're a little bit separate. I think there's no doubt the injury cuts into that a little bit. And but I think he felt like he was sound enough to be given in a couple of those situations a stronger effort.
Is that on him, that if he can't give max effort, he's actually hurting the team more than he's helping the team? Does he need to come to you earlier in those situations?
If there's a situation where he feels like he can't play at full speed or whatever, those are conversations that we have to have. I don't think that was the case last night. It's certainly afterwards, and obviously today is more of the case.
Aaron, did you check with him at all after he went after that pass ball in the first inning, really didn't get after it hard? Like, did you guys ever connect to find out what was up there?
I did not, because at that time I didn't see him as much on that because I was watching Bowers and Point Musevi to get home. So I just knew that they were talking about the cross-up more. That was the conversation in between innings, so we were kind of getting to the bottom of that.
So it never registered that it could have been like he described it as feeling tightness on that play, that it could have been that.
Yeah, we didn't see any red flags or alarms at that point. No.
Aaron, what was your first thought when you talked to us after the game? You said you wanted to check the video first in the last play before making any kind of determination on hustle.
Right.
Did you see that before Gary came in to talk to you, or did you see? You saw the video, and so what was your initial reaction before Gary said that maybe he was hurting?
That's something that needs to be better, period, especially at that time of the game. There's going to be times in a game where, you hit a ground ball to second, and it's not going to be 1,000% down the line in certain points of the game. But that point in the game, you've got to make sure you get out of the box and get after it, because obviously that's a game on the line situation. So my first reaction to that was that needed to be better.
Aaron, were you prepared to impose discipline on him? Is there still something that should or will be done?
No, not at this point. I'm not.
Were you prepared to before the injury thing?
I was prepared to kind of handle it between he and I, and I'll leave it at that.
Not or a demotion or anything like that?
No, I was going to handle it between he and I.
Nothing public.
Yeah, and I'm not going to go into what that may have been.
His reputation, at least outside reputation, is he can get lazy at times, even getting in front of balls in the dirt and things like that. Do you think that this has been a problem beyond last night?
I don't see that as the issue for him. I think he really cares about what he's doing. I also think this year has very much been a learning experience for him, and he's dealt with a lot of adversity this year, and I think it's a chance for him to take inventory of all this, learn from all this, and hopefully grow from all this as a player, as a person, and that's upon all of us to come alongside and help him grow up to hopefully become the finished product as a player that we believe that he can be.
Is your sense this will be about as long as the last one? He said it's a re-aggravation of basically the same injury, same location, same spot.
We'll see. I think that'll become more clear over the next few days. I do think it's at least going to be a couple weeks, but we'll have to see, as the doctors make evaluations and, where he's at in a few days about having a better timeline.
Aaron, how much easier has Gary's struggles been to swallow? How much easier is this one just because how good Roman has been?
Ro's been great, and Rose had a really, really strong season for us on both sides of the ball. We're fortunate to have such a quality backup in Ro, and feel certainly confident with what he brings to the table. So, we're glad we have him. So hopefully, hopefully Gary can start on the mend and be an important part of this still in the coming weeks. But in the meantime, we know we got a good player in his place.
Just speaking generally, you're going to come across situations like this as a manager where a player doesn't run a ball out, and you've seen guys get pulled, you've seen guys get benched, whatever,
right,
and make a public show of it. Do you think there's any place for that, like as far as how you intend to manage a team where there is a time where it's appropriate to do something like that, or do you think that in this day and age it's over the top, considering just how things maybe have changed?
Well, I think there's certain situations that get to a point where different reactions are warranted, and maybe different disciplines are warranted. I try my best. We try our best around here to get ahead of things, or if we see something, to address things ahead of time. I don't feel like we're at any place like that right now, but that's always a possibility, and you always have to adjust and manage and coach accordingly.
A lot of times things like this these fires are put out by veteran leadership, policemen, I don't know if that's something you did when you were playing, and do you think the leadership here takes it upon themselves to handle things like this?
I do. I think, look, you know how I feel about this group. You know how I feel about the leadership in that room, and I feel like our guys do a great job of getting out ahead of things or curtailing situations before they become situations. That's all part of great leadership and a great clubhouse, and I think we have all the makings for that, and hopefully we limit the kind of negative situations that are inevitable that will come up over the course of the season.